Good afternoon, angels. Welcome to Buzzard's Corner of Love. Think outside the box. Take that leap of faith. Do something new, angels. Create something new. Do something that you've never done before. Think outside the box. I am Heather Buzzard of Buzzard's Corner of Love, bringing people back to themselves where we uplift and inspire you to become who you truly came here to be. We welcome you, angels, to the April. Our theme of the month is Rebirth and Renewal. It's a perfect topic for springtime and Easter season as we're coming towards the end of Lent, moving into Passover and Good Friday with Easter coming upon us. We said this is a great month for rebirth and renewal. And our first topic of this month is catching up with yourself. You may ask, well, what does that mean? So we're going to share with you what catching up with oneself means. If you don't know what it means, catching up with oneself involves prioritizing your own needs and practicing self-care. Are you one to do that? Do you prioritize your needs above your family, friends, significant others? Or do you prioritize their needs above your own? Do you practice self-care? And you may ask, well, what is self-care? Self-care is giving yourself the quiet time. Self-care is exercising. Self-care is giving yourself the ability to meditate. Self-care is taking a walk outside in nature. Self-care is reading a good book, spending time with friends, going out to a restaurant, all kinds of things, getting a mani-pedicure, getting your hair done, going shopping for a new outfit. Self-care. In what ways do you take care of yourself? And it doesn't just have to be materialistic ways. It can also be spiritual ways. In what ways spiritually do you take care of yourself? Do you find your time to meditate? Do you find time to exercise? Do you find time to journal for just yourself so that you can empty out your vessel so that you can be good for other people, for your family, your friends, your job work, your co-workers, and significant others? That is what catching up with oneself is. Also, it's engaging in activities that promote mental, emotional, and physical well-being. Do you engage in everyday activities that stimulate your mental competency, that stimulate your physical body, whether it's getting up and walking, just doing some walking inside your house, standing exercises, yoga, Pilates, whatever it may be? Do you allow your body to become physical? Do you exercise your body? And to promote emotional and mental health, wellness, do you take care to reflect on your mental and emotional wellness? And you may say, well, what do you mean by reflect on it? That means journaling and reading it back to yourself. That means becoming aware of what it is that you're speaking and how you're speaking it and catching yourself so that you can change it. It's also mental well-being is emptying out all that garbage from the news, gossip, radio, friends, family, newspapers, and all that stuff from the world, emptying out all that junk in your head and filling it with spiritual prayers, love, understanding, peace, wellness, health. How are you speaking to yourself? That is mental wellness, angels. If you're speaking well to yourself and acknowledging where you are and how far you've come and patting yourself on the back for the steps that you made, that's mental wellness. We aren't speaking about bragging. We're talking about mental wellness. Yet if you are one that is beating up on yourself, speaking negative to yourself, or thinking thoughts of lack and limitation, that is unhealthy mental wellness. So where is your mental wellness? That's part of catching up with yourself, because yourself, your true self, is always in a state of positive. Your true self is never one that experiences lack or limitation. It is the ego or the physical that experiences that. Yet our true self always stands in that I have more than enough, I am enough, and everything that I desire and everything that I need is here now. So, catching up with yourself. Do you have some catching up to do? I'm going to share a story with you, angels. This right here, what we're speaking about, the physical, the mental, and the emotional. I've had to take care of within myself, especially over the last 2 years going through those health challenges that I went through. Yet those health challenges, looking back, gave me that opportunity to catch up with myself to where I am today. Because think about it. If I had been out there in the world and running out in the world and still being in the worldly activities instead of in a hospital, resting for weeks and the months that I had, I wouldn't have been able to catch up with myself. My mental health would not have been where it is today. It was going through that experience of that open heart surgery that I allowed my mental health to really cement itself and really trust and believe in God, that God had got my back and that I will be okay. And it was what I was telling myself, that this is okay, that this is going to go well, that I'm going to come out stronger than I had than going in, that I'll be better off, etc., so on. And that's all that has happened. Yet I tell you, angels, it was my mental well-being that I used going through that process. And also being in the hospitals allowed me, like I said earlier, to catch up with myself, to come out of the hospitals and to have the desire to change the way that I speak and to change how I dress and to change my behavior and just get a whole new perspective on life because of what I went through, and appreciating and being grateful for life. So, in a manner of speaking, that was how I caught up with myself, and that was the way that I did it. Also, ultimately, catching up with oneself, it leads to a more balanced and a more fulfilling life. And as I've caught up with myself, my life is becoming more balanced and more fulfilled. And as it does, angels, I will share that with you. I told you we're going to be stepping onto virtual stages. Next month, we'll be speaking at a Ascension Summit in 2025. For 2025, we'll be speaking on, we're going to be doing a meditation experience. And as we get that information this month, we'll share it with you so you can join us for that as well. Yeah, we're looking forward to that. And that's just an expansion. So it's balancing your life out and having a fulfilled life, having mental wellness, health, physical wellness. This is all catching up with yourself. And for an in-depth look at what it means and to how to achieve that, catching up with yourself, we mentioned at the beginning prioritizing yourself. How often do you prioritize yourself? And I didn't say grab your favorite beverage, angels. Take a sip. I'm thirsty. I'm going to take a sip right now. Today I'm drinking root beer. I love root beer. Root beer. That's my favorite. So prioritizing self, meaning it's about making your needs and well-being a priority rather than constantly putting others first. I know that as kids, we were taught that it was better to help somebody else before you help yourself. Yet, like they say on the airplane, put the oxygen mask on your face first, then help somebody else. Because if you can't breathe, you can't help anybody. So think about that, angels. If you're depressed, if you're sad, if you're hurting, if you're grieving, if you're unhappy, if you have negative emotion and energy within yourself, how can you help somebody else? How can you uplift, inspire, encourage anybody if you aren't in that space yourself? It isn't possible. And here in the USA, we are witnessing on a larger platform via the government that example of trying to control and being frustrated, upset, and angry because it all implodes in your face. So, and knowing that prioritizing self and self-care is important, I'll ask you, what ways will you prioritize yourself? Put it in the chat below if you care to share. Do you make yourself a priority? Let me put it like that. Do you make yourself a priority? Put a 1 in the chat below, a 2 in the chat below for no, 1 for yes. Self-care. Do you take care of yourself? Put a 1 in the chat, put a 2 for no. That means engaging in activities that nourish your mind, body, and soul. And last month we spoke about all that. We gave a lot of spiritual tools. And you can look back on those videos as we gave a lot of spiritual tools to help you nourish your mind, body, and soul. This is a month of rebirth and renewal. This is the month of Easter. We're moving through the Lent season, coming into Passover, going into the Good Friday, going into the Easter. This is all symbolic of renewal, angels. And it isn't a coincidence that it coincides with springtime, because the spring is newness as well. Mindfulness and presence. Being present in the moment. Are you present in the moment? Are you present right here, right now, in this moment? Ask yourself that. Being present in the moment and paying attention to your thoughts and your feelings and your bodily sensations. Do you do that? Do you pay attention to your gut instinct? I will tell you, there was a time when I was younger that I didn't pay attention to my gut instinct, only to come to find out that it would have been better off had I paid attention to it. Today, I pay attention to my gut instinct. I listen to it because my guidance system will never lead me wrong. It always leads me down the path of joy, peace, understanding, the path of least resistance. Our guidance systems are with us for a purpose, and this is located in our third chakra. We call it a gut instinct. Do you use your gut instincts at all? Also, angels, when you have that mindfulness presence and you're able to pay attention to your thoughts and your feelings in your body, it helps you understand yourself and it helps you understand your needs. Do you know yourself truly? Other people outside of you say, oh, well, I know this person and I know that person. Yet, do you know yourself truly? I can remember walking on my spiritual path and reading in one of the books that I read along the way that said, in order to really get in tune with your body is to really get in tune with yourself. And when you're in tune with your body, then you are in tune with yourself. And I mentioned it a couple of weeks ago on another video that we did, that being in tune with the body, haven't used an alarm clock in over 30 years because my body automatically wakes itself up. That's being in tune with oneself. When you are in tune with yourself, you can tell your body how to feel. You can tell your body what time you want to wake up and, how to rest and whatnot. Your body will do what it is that you tell it to do, as long as your body understands and knows that you are the master of it. And how many of us let our bodies control us instead of us controlling our bodies? Have we even ever thought that we could have control over our bodies? Think about that. Here in the USA, there's a multi-billion-dollar pharmaceutical business for pills, for sickness, for ill health. Yet, what if we just took a moment and really took what God has given us and used our mental wellness and our thoughts to heal our bodies? We wouldn't need to take pills. We wouldn't have all of the sickness and dis-ease that we have in the world today and in our bodies. And disease is dis-ease of the body. Think about that, angels. It's a wonder how we hide these little nuggets of information, isn't it? We spoke about this a couple of weeks ago, too, about setting boundaries. We talked about that last week. Setting boundaries is learning to say no to commitments, standing in your power of no without having to explain. Yet, if you aren't willing to set boundaries, then you will be drained emotionally, physically, and mentally. Then you aren't good for anybody, at least yourself, let alone anybody else. Don't do that to yourself. You don't have to do that to yourself. I know that there was a time when I would watch my mother. She volunteered for everything. And she would always be from morning to night doing and busy and just doing a whole lot of stuff. But at the end of the day, she'd always complain about, oh, I'm so tired. I'm so exhausted and I'm just too much. And looking back now, I'm like, well, mother, you never filled yourself up with anything. Now, She did do some reading. Yet we have to fill ourselves up with that spiritual energy, angels. We have to fill ourselves up with confidence, with knowing that God is with us. And if we can't do that, I'll rephrase that. We don't have to do that by ourselves. We can always call on the Spirit to help us. Just sit and be quiet. In the Bible, it says that Jesus went out into the wilderness to get away from the people and the noise in order for him to be able to do what he did. And we haven't even came close to doing what Jesus did. So just think about how you can give yourself boundaries and being able to stand in your power of yes and your power of no, and to allow yourself to not have to replenish your energy. We'll put it like that. Don't allow your energy to be drained. Replenish your energy. Spiritual meditations, music, prayer, nature, listening to a laughing baby, laughing, just all kinds of ways to replenish that energy. Show up for yourself. How many of you show up for you? Just curious. Do you show up for yourself? Put a 1 in the chat below if you do. Put a 2 if you don't. I will say, I have commitments in my life every Tuesday and every Thursday morning. We have our YouTube show here on Tuesdays and our Win Win Women TV show on Thursday mornings. And those are 2 commitments that I've said that I will show up for. I show up for that consistently every week. I also show up for myself on a daily basis. How? I show up for myself by starting my day out on a positive note and ingesting positive energy into my consciousness even before I start the day. I show up for myself by being willing to exercise in the morning, whether it's 5 minutes of stretching, 10 minutes of stretching, 15 minutes of yoga, Pilates, whatever it is. I show up for myself in that manner. I show up for myself in the manner of having a peaceful and quiet environment, setting my boundaries and standing in my boundaries and being willing to say yes and be willing to say no, and do it with softness, a little, more softness, not so harsh. That's ways that I show up for myself. I am becoming or learning to show up for myself more in the eating, cooking realm. I don't care to cook, yet I'm eating healthier. So I'm showing up for myself by eating healthier and choosing healthier options when I do go out to eat. These are just ways that I'm showing you. There's other ways that you can show up for yourself. Yet, what ways are you showing up for yourself that you can think of in your life? How have you shown up for yourself in your life? So, angels, those are just some ways of understanding the concept of prioritizing yourself. Here are some practical steps that you can use to catch up to yourself. 1, you can identify your needs. Reflect on what truly matters to you and what you need to be fulfilled and balanced. Give you an example. I asked myself that question, Heather, what do you need to feel fulfilled and balanced? Peace in my home, flexibility in my life and in my in my life. Yes, flexibility in my life. Also, to be in a space of knowing that I and Source are one and have that cemented into that knowingness. So when I was able to identify my needs of spirit, commitment, peace, integrity, it also is one of those. These are ways that I feel fulfilled and balanced in my life. Socially balanced as well by having, by being aware of what my activities are throughout the week and on the weekend. So balancing myself in that way. Yet in identifying my needs, I'm able to create and mold and shape my life in the way that I desire. So with you identifying your needs, then you can mold and shape and create your life in an easier manner. Do you know what your needs are? Do you even feel that your needs are important? Are they important to you? Do you have a self-care routine? If not, create one. I went over mine. I told you to get up. In the morning times, we have our morning meditation. We spend an hour in the morning doing our meditative exercises. We exercise physically. Sometimes we even do our chanting. Yet, creating a self-care routine incorporates activities that promote relaxation, meditation, mindfulness, reflection, journaling. That's something that, and this is all things that we've said before to angels. Yet it's something that you enjoy doing on a daily or a weekly schedule. If you like to go out to movies, if you like to go out to parks, if you like to go out for a picnic by the water, if you like physical activity outside, but running, bicycle riding, whatever it may be, jogging, uh, karaokeing with friends, whatever it may be for you, so that you can create a self-care routine, because that's all taking care of self. That's all self-love, and that isn't selfish. Don't let the world tell you that it is. Religion has taught you that taking care of yourself is selfish. Do you practice positive self-talk? I will say to you, angels, that is one thing that I have practiced in my life and continue to practice. There was a time when I practiced the negative self-talk. Yet today I practice positive self-talk. And it makes a difference in my experiences, and it makes a difference in how I feel. And when I speak positive, empowering, uplifting, encouraging thoughts to myself, I feel good. I feel confident. I feel secure. I know I'm blessed. I know I'm highly favored. I'm peaceful. I have laughter. I'm joy filled. My body is happy and calm. It just makes a difference when you're able to practice positive self talk. So we challenge you here at Buzzard's Corner of Love to talk positive to yourself for at least one day. Try it. And if you catch yourself saying something negative, catch yourself. Don't beat yourself up about it. Let it go and just start again. Positive self talk helps you. As we said at the beginning of the show, we're moving through the season of Lent, coming into Good Friday, into Passover, into Easter. These are all symbolic rituals of renewal, refreshing, regeneration, transformation, coming out new. And it's not a coincidence that it happens during the springtime, angels, because the spring, the earth is recreating itself anew again after winter. So just think about that. Do you set realistic goals for yourself? Do you set realistic goals, or do you set goals that you can't reach, so you just give up on them? I didn't really understand what they meant, yet I will tell you, I set some realistic goals the other day. I was on a conference call, and this lady said to me, she said, listen to at least 4 virtual talks on the computer by the end of the month, last month. She said, don't try to do it. She said, just 4. And I thought to myself, well, I could do more than 4. So I had like 6 or 7 talks that I had signed up for. Yet that was unrealistic, angels, because I didn't meet those 7 talks. Yet I did meet the 4 that she had originally told me to sign up for. So that's setting a realistic goal. Our egos will think that we can reach out there, yet we have to take it one step at a time. So allow yourself to set realistic goals for yourself. Seeking support, don't hesitate to reach out and ask for support, angels. I'm a big believer in asking other people for support. I'll ask people for help in a heartbeat, because we aren't here by ourselves. We were never meant to walk through life by ourselves. And that is why there are other people in the world to support, uplift, inspire, and encourage us. That is what Buzzard's Corner of Love is all about. here to uplift, inspire, and encourage you as you journey on your path that we call life. And everybody needs somebody. So don't be ashamed to reach out for help, whether it be a friend, an aunt, an uncle, a grandparent, a co-worker, whomever it may be, an acquaintance, somebody you don't even know. Ask for help if you need it. Because a closed mouth don't get fed. And if you don't ask, nobody's going to ask for you. Embrace imperfection. How many of us think that we have to be perfect? There is no such thing as perfection. There isn't. So knowing that there is no such thing as perfection, embracing imperfection helps you move through life a lot easier when you have your ebbs and flows, and you can just understand and know that, hey, okay, there's nothing perfect in life. This is, imperfection is okay. I accept that, recognize that you don't have to be perfect, and that it's okay for you to make mistakes, and that there really aren't mistakes, angels. It's just another opportunity to try again. There are no such things as mistakes. We just have opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. It is the world and religion that has called our lives a mistake. Forgive yourself. Do you do that? Are you one to forgive yourself? And you may ask, well, what do you mean by forgiving self? And when we say forgiving self, we're saying, do you allow yourself to forgive yourself and let go of what no longer serves you? Because it's in the forgiving yourself and letting go of what no longer serves you, angels, that you can truly move forward. And in moving forward gives you freedom to create your life in the manner, in the way that you would like it for it to be. So, angels, these are all ways that we share with you that you can catch up with yourself. And as you catch up with yourself this month and you step out into May with the new you, stay tuned with us, because next week we're going to have a symbolic meditation, and that will help you, angels, to create this new you, to help you catch up with yourself. This symbolic meditation next Tuesday, Meditation Tuesday. Join us for that. Angels, we are grateful and appreciative to have you here with us this month, especially on this Easter season. Please share your thoughts and your feelings. Put them down in the chat below. Like I said, we got our link in the chat below. If you'd like group coaching, we are now offering group coaching. That's available to you. And it's a great opportunity, angels, because you have support of a group. You have personal accountability. You're able to go through something with like-minded people. And it's just a great opportunity to have that group coaching. So if you and some friends, or you and somebody else that you know, 3 or more people, and would like group coaching, contact us at BUZZARDSKORNER.com, BUZZARDSKORNER, BUZZARDSKORNER with a K.com. And we also do one-on-one coaching as well. Angels, check out our blog postings over there. Start or end your day with that. I believe we still have an old podcast, our old podcast from our radio show still up on our website as well. You can always join our channel here, subscribe, like our videos, check out our past videos that we have here for you, angels, as we travel through this month of April, Easter season, renewal and rebirth ourselves. I am so looking forward to it. And I will be showing up differently in some of these videos. Just wait and see. Next week, again, angels, is Meditation Tuesday. We're going to have a symbolic meditation. So join us, come back and join us for that as you catch up with yourself. Until next time, angels, I am Heather Buzzard of Buzzard's Corner of Love, bringing people back to themselves.